Rumi is one of the few people wh- whose poetry has sold more than 1 million copies in the United States and in English-speaking countries. The average poet laureate sells about 5,000 or 10,000, and Rumi sold 1 million, surprising everybody, mainly thanks to Robert Bly opening up Asian poetry to people, to colleges in the United States. And also thanks to Coleman Barks and Harper San Francisco for putting out The Essential Rumi was one of the first big-selling books. The other one was Rumi, The Book of Love, both Harper. It took the colleges by storm in both Europe, the United States, and most English-speaking countries. It resonated because people from all religions or no religions, students in particular, professors, liked Rumi, and they really said he's a universal poet. He's a universal man. You don't have to be a Muslim to appreciate Rumi. You can be a Christian, a solid Christian, a solid Jewish person, a solid Muslim, a Hindu. All of these people have fallen in love with Rumi. He's a universal man. And even at his funeral back in the 1600s, 2,000 people showed up from all over the Mideast and from parts of Europe, shocking everyone. He is funny. He has a magic with words, even though English, well, the translations by Coleman Barks brought them out of the woods and made them beloved. I found that I learned more about Judaism by reading Rumi, and that was echoed by hundreds of people that I knew, Christians who said they finally understood Christianity by reading Rumi, Hindu people who said it clarified for them. Tremendous, even some Muslim people said that Coleman Barks' English translation made Rumi more clear to them, even, which is an amazing phenomenon. I was one of those people. It happened right here in Woodstock. There was a independent bookseller who had a little broken old bus that he drove around very Woodstocky. He would park it, he would open the doors of this minibus, and he would set up book stands and he would sell used books. He stopped me, looked me in the eye, pointed his finger in my face, and he said, "Do you know who Rumi is?" And I did not greet this kindly, but something made me stop and say, "No, who is Rumi?" And he said, "You have to read Rumi. I have the books for you right here, and your life will be different in an hour." I got into a car and I drove into with the books and with the videotapes that he ordered me to go to the record store in Woodstock and buy. Somehow, and he was a Christian. He worked with the people who help feed people. He was one of the people who said he understood Christianity better. I was going into the city from Woodstock to go to the dentist. It's an hour drive, roughly, once you're on the thruway. I had the tape with me that I had just bought in the bookstore in Woodstock, Mirabai Bookstore. And I had just bought two books and two tapes, all at the urging of this local bookseller with a broken down bus. He fed the need of people in Woodstock to read. By the time I got to the George Washington Bridge, I had listened for literally 58 minutes or something to the tape, the videotape of Coleman Barks, the translator, reading his translations of Rumi on a commercial videotape. And I was a different person. I had changed in the car ride, listening to him read Rumi. Amir is the star without question. It's his trio. He plays about eight authentic, official his Middle Eastern instruments. His trio is probably the best for Middle Eastern Sufi music uh, to accompany Rumi, and he can sing Rumi in several languages, which he does. He's played at some of the largest venues in the world, the famous Concert House in Sydney, Hollywood Bowl. I personally have read Rumi at Yale University Institute of Sacred Music in Connecticut, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the Rainey Rogers Auditorium, the biggest one they have at the Met. And I read Rumi there along with eight whirling dervishes from Turkey, Mevlevi dervishes, and eight Mevlevi musicians. It's my privilege to be playing with Amir and his two assistants. They're amazing. You should come. You can't find this anywhere else unless you go to Iran. It's a lovin'. Rumi's poetry. Can I recite one poem for you? Gamble everything for love if you're a true human being. If not, leave this gathering. Half-heartedness never reaches into majesty. Woodstock, like many towns in America, are in a civil war, and Woodstock needed a love injection, but not of drugs or pot. And I recognized that a storytelling festival might be the injection that is needed.